Today we're actually going to take a look at 2-star crafts about a month after they release, maybe a little more, and just see if they're still worth it. A lot of people are asking me, oops, what to do right now, and you know, I didn't know because I just came back. I wasn't sure if they were still worth it, so I did what you should be doing and putting everything into Garland data and figuring it out for yourself. So I'm just going to look at a couple here. They are Indigo Rami Skirt of Casting. And they are at about 500k right now. They are selling 1, 2, 3, 4 of them on the 23rd. It is the 24th now, so that looks like they're selling 2 to 3 a day by the looks of it on average. There was a quiet period right here, but that's all just RNG, I think. They're also up in price right now, so you can expect them to go to about 300 to 400 by the time you sell them. I also want to look at Palladium Band of Aiming. And these are at 245k, and looks like 1, 2, 3, about 3 to 5 a day. So those sell really well, and at least really fast. Maybe not really well, depending on the price, but we'll keep that in mind too. And there's one more I wanted to look at, which was Torea Longbow. I just kind of wanted to get kind of one from everything and just sort of see what it looked like. So 295-ish K they're selling for, about that, maybe a little more. 1 to 2 a day on the weapon, maybe even less than that. Some days there's none sold at all. Like there was none on the 18th, there was none on, yeah, just the 18th. So usually 1 to 2 a day, I would say. And the good news about when things are really low prices is they do sell really fast. So if you are on the ball and constantly updating your prices, you should sell them regularly. Whereas before, when they were worth $1 million and everybody was updating it every second, it was just impossible to sell at. So let's take a look at, oops, no, over here. Garland tools here. So I've added each one of these 3 to a crafting list. So I have a couple Garland tools guides. If you're not entirely familiar with it, you just type in what you want here, add it to your crafting list. You can click this little guy and then one button, it'll put it right into your crafting list. And then I click on each individual one at the bottom here, and it opens up this window. From here, you can open up, like, I added prices to a lot of them, and this is what you should be doing too, but I left out a bunch of them just because it takes time to do it, and it's not really worth it, and it doesn't really add much to the craft itself. Like these blood hemps are worth like 300 gil each or something, maybe a little less, so you click on them here, you go to market price, add in 300 gil, click it off, and now it is added to each craft. So let's take a look at Indigo Rami Skirts, just to check the price again. Those were 500k right now, and you can expect them to sell for 350. By the looks of it, basically all the 2 stars on my server are at about 300k right now. And that's another thing, I'd really love to know from you guys what prices are like on your server, whether they're extremely different, whether they're less, whether they're more, whether the materials are more. That way I can help you guys out better too, you know? So we look at the skirt here, and at the top, it's 130,000 to craft it approximately. So this is with all these not added in, so you can add maybe 20k for all those. So I'd say about 150, and then you can add all the crystals, clusters, and shards in, because those don't show and you can't add the price in for some reason. So add another 10, 15k. So all in all, this should cost you about 160, 165k to make, and it sells for about 300. So you make about 140,000 gil profit, maybe a little less, a little more depending on the time of day. And as for whether that's worth it, I honestly don't know. Personally, for me, it's not worth it because I have plenty of gil, and these do take a long time to craft, but you got to start somewhere, and this is the type of profit I started at. So if you blanket 20 to 40 or even 100 of these 2 stars up there at once, that 140k really adds up. So you kind of just, like, it compounds. Even though you're not selling it for much, you are selling a ton of them often, and you'll be crafting all day, but you'll be making a ton of gil back too. We'll look at the Palladium Band here. Those were like 240, right? Those are, yeah, 242k. They cost 64k to make. Add in, say, 20k there and 20k there. So let's say about 100k to make, maybe a little less. So these are, I would say, much better to make than the other ones, just because the materials are much easier to get, and it seems like a lot of the price is fronted in the, where is it? The palladium ores here. Since they're 4,000 each, that really adds up. I also noticed, just a side note, Dawnlight Aether Sands are 400 gil. Like, that's insane. I don't know if there's a ton of bots now where the bots just started being able to do the Aether Sand, but for those to go that low a price, it just baffles me because they're used in a lot of things, you know. What's next here? Let's do Torea Longbow. And as you can see, I try to do the same sort of thing in each video. I don't want to tell you if you should be crafting 2 stars or not. I want to show you how I figured out whether or not I should. And then from there, you could figure it out on your server. So again, Torea Longbow, it was selling for about 300k, and it looks like about 135k to make. Add in another 30k for materials, so about 170k to make, which is about 120, 130k profit. Again, I'm not a huge fan right now. That's just not enough profit for me in terms of how much effort it is to put in, but it should be for a lot of you guys, and I think that would be a fantastic way. So I definitely think crafting 2 stars is worth it right now for people who don't have Infinity Gil already. And I get a lot of people asking and saying, well, it's too late for me to meld my gear for 2 stars. They're not selling very well or very often. And if we go back into here, as we saw, they are selling, oops, Palladium Band. They are selling quite a bit and very often, and it's pretty good profit. So I think it's definitely worth it. You know, you've got to get to this number somehow, and you can't start making $1 million profit per craft if there's nothing that's going to make you that, you know. So yeah, I sat down yesterday after being gone for nearly a month and was just completely lost. I had no idea what to do, no idea what content to provide you guys, so I decided to just play and go from there. And the very first thing I did was check prices of 2 stars, see whether or not I can still craft them for profit. And that was actually the most common question I had while I was gone too, is whether or not it was worth melding their crafting gear to do 2 stars. And I couldn't answer that before this video, but now I can. So I do definitely think it is still worth it on my server, at least. I would love to see your guys' feedback too on this. I would love to know in the comments below or in my Discord in the comments below whether it's worth it for you. I'd like to know everything about the items on your server. I'd like to know what server you're on, how often they sell, what the prices are like. I'm counting on my other hand right here, by the way. What else? What the material prices are like, whether it's lower or higher than my server, and just overall if you think it's worth it still on your server, so I can help the majority of people watching. So I'd love that information. And anyway, thank you so much for watching. If this video helped you out in any way, feel free to like, comment, subscribe, as that really helps me out and really helps me help other people. So thank you so much. See you guys next time, and bye.